Welcome back. We are fixing the nation one conversation at a time here on NTV and Nation FM and all our places where we have a broadcast signal, including all the digital platforms. And today, being the Eid day, we are saying Eid Mubarak to all of us in the country. We just got to understand what Ramadan is all about, what it means, the importance of it, the history of it, and it was a very, very good session. Our next session is going to be on a day that is a very special day. Tomorrow, the 21st of March, it's a World Down Syndrome Day.
Yep.
And we've had a conversation previously about Down syndrome and what it means. And we had a parent who walked us through the journey of caregiving to a child with Down syndrome. Today we have another one, Joan Kamau, Mama Baraka.
Yes.
Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Into this conversation. As we begin every conversation, we like to give our guests a day's quote. We call her Januama quotes. She's going to give you the quotes.
The merch is coming. Yeah, shortly.
Can't wait.
The quote today is by Maya Angelou, who's a really well-known poet, and she was many things. She wore many hats. And she once said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. What comes to mind when you hear that?
Yeah, in relation to Down syndrome and our theme, Together Against Loneliness, that is a feeling that we want, that treat us well, include us, engage us, allow us to just participate in everything, social, economic, everything, name it. And we will not forget.
Yeah, the theme is Together Against Loneliness.
Yes.
I know I still want us to get into what is Down syndrome, just to let our viewers know. But why was this theme in particular so important? Is it just the journey of feeling isolated and lonely? Why is it so important?
Yeah, the feeling of being isolated. When we talk about loneliness, people think about just being alone. It's not being alone. It's just not being, you're there, you're around people, but you're not just being seen or felt. Yeah, so this theme is really important to us because we really need to engage with the society, the people around us, so that they can understand and try to also engage, like fit in our shoes, and walk the journey with us.
But let me ask, do you remember the first time you heard the word Down syndrome? Or maybe not the first time you heard it and understood what it meant?
Okay, understood, because I'm a mom of a child living with Down syndrome.
Yes.
And you don't completely understand because it's a journey. So every day we live one day at a time. So you don't say you actually understand, but every day you have new learnings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let me take you back to the diagnosis for Baraka. When that happened, how long it took, and what the process of diagnosis was like?
Unlike many parents, mine was immediate. And I don't know, God just communicates. When I got my baby at 41, so of course you're given your baby, the doctors just tell you your baby has scored well. That's immediately you give birth. And then the following day, the pediatrician told me she wanted to have a family conference. But I could see immediately I held my baby, just the thought Down syndrome came to me. But I didn't think much into it. So when she asked for a family conference where now, the following day, and I just told her my husband was not around. So what is it, like SEMA? Yeah, and the way doctors start, and she started from high, your child has this condition, and she went to the worst. These children are born with all those things, their heart, they don't walk, and I'm like, okay. Previously I'd done a tubal ligation, so I was actually done giving birth. Okay, so this baby comes in, And I'm like, okay, God, I mean,
Wait.
Yeah, I was just going to
Wait.
say, you just by the way to that fact. Let's go back.
Wait.
Yes.
You're
You know,
born
I
anti
was
ligation.
trying to
Yes.
really not act surprised, but okay.
Yeah,
Because we've had
14 years.
conversations here
Yeah.
on birth control.
Yeah.
And ligation was one of those that are meant to be
Permanent.
near permanent.
Yeah,
Yes.
near permanent.
Near because they
Yeah.
can
The
heal
word.
sometimes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can quite literally grow back. Like,
There's that 1%.
Yeah.
So this was not a baby that was planned, but it was a welcome. I was already lonely. My other children were my firstborn now is 28. My secondborn is 25. So this one comes 14 years later.
Yeah.
When ushasahau kila kitu, you're like a fresh mom. So of course, when the pregnancy symptoms came in, when I went to my gyna, he said, oh, you're 40, so the menopause symptoms, hakuna kitu, we close this thing, kabisa, you can't get babies. I'm like, okay. Aya, wacha tugoje. Sijui for how many weeks, then we do the test. Okay, the test can come positive, but still the hormonal changes. So we wait, the baby is growing, and 9 months, and I get my baby.
Hold on. The tests can come back positive, and
Yeah.
the doctor attributes it to
To hormonal. The pregnancy, it takes some weeks for them to confirm a pregnancy. I'm not a medic, so so after about 20, I don't know how many weeks, it was some time.
Yeah.
And he told me, "Where's pata?" I even gave you a video, of us doing that procedure. So finally, the baby is here. So back to the doctor now telling me about the condition.
Yeah.
I was not even angry about the condition. I remember growing up, there was some program where there was a boy, a young man with Down syndrome. I can't remember what it was called. So I was aware. And as children, we saw him grow up. We saw him, So it was not a big deal.
Right.
My issue was with God. And these many things that I've been told. So my mind just went to death. Like, I have gone through this. I didn't even want a baby in the first place. Yeah. And now, God, you've given me this baby only to take it back. So my thoughts went to death.
Yeah.
And so she told me, and then I just told her, I'm not leaving this hospital. If there are any tests to be done, they need to be done now. You've talked about the heart. There's, of course, the karyotyping, which is not done in the country, a very expensive test. There is, he will never walk, he might not see properly, he might not hear properly on day 2 of so that was a lot of news.
This is postpartum as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Just talk me through these tests. You said
Karyotyping. That's when they really want to confirm the diagnosis. At that time, that's 11 years ago, the tests were only done in South Africa. So it was very expensive. And I just asked the doctor, would the results come different? I mean, no, we just want to know what type, because there are several types of Down syndrome. Said, no, me, I'm okay. If you confirm that he has Down syndrome, I think I am just okay. What else do we need to do? The heart. The most urgent is to check the heart, because children born with Down syndrome have most of the times are born with heart conditions. So that, and when you hear the heart, you've never even met a patient, And I'm just thinking, oh no, this heart. So just call that cardiologist, let's do this. What other tests can we do?
Yeah.
And of course, the thyroid tests, the many tests. So we were able to do them when I was still immediately. Because I wanted to leave the hospital knowing what I need to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what life will be like.
Yeah.
Just as we come back to more about Baraka and developmental, I think the show she was talking about was Life Goes On.
Yeah. Life goes on. Yes.
Life goes on.
Yes.
So that's what came to mind, because I wanted to just learn more about now developmentally, if there's anything profoundly unique with a baby or child growing up with Down syndrome. Beyond just, any developmental issues, deeper than that. Is there anything unique and different to what somebody like that would need vis-a-vis another child?
Children with Down syndrome are just slow. Isn't it? They will be slow in almost everything. So while a typical child is sitting at 4 months, a child with Down syndrome can take even up to a year plus. So of course, developmental-wise, their muscle tone is low. And because of those other conditions, the heart and once the heart is not working, it will slow down almost everything. So you're required to start therapy like on day one, so that especially just to strengthen, and everything about our body, including the heart, is muscle. So you have to do the occupational therapy, physical therapy to ensure that they firm up. You'll find like they are wobbly, they are not able, to hold their head, they can't stand, they are just, Yeah, so we are advised to do therapy right from birth, even before dealing with any other thing. And of course, they eventually get there. Baraka is 11 years now. He walked at 2.4, 2 years and 4 months. There are those who take longer. There are those who walk on time at 9 months. So every child is different. So they should not be collectively put together. What we know is that at the end of the day, with support, they actually just get to the milestones. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I want to take you back a little bit because you mentioned essentially day 2 postpartum, this doctor is giving you the diagnosis, but it sounded very dreadful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a case, what does medical care around Down syndrome look like in Kenya? And now that you're 11 years into this, have you realized that there's different levels of care depending on where you go? There's doctors who may be a bit better suited and things like that. Because I'm really thinking about that. You've just had a baby and then the diagnosis is giving the worst case scenario. I can imagine it was very emotionally jarring. Yeah.
It was. But I want to maybe thank God for information, for access to information, because there's a lot of networking now, unlike when we were giving birth. Actually, I don't think I'd seen or met anyone with a child living with Down syndrome. But after that, of course, the 1 year you're into your cocoon and, you're just going to your doctor, you're not, all those emotions. Right. But the first World Down syndrome day after Baraka was born, my therapist shared a poster and I was able to attend a function. And while I was there, the doctors, one of the parents was actively, creating awareness. And while I was there, I met her mom. I was just there. And I've been told that the heart is not okay. The cardiologist came, and after she saw Baraka, she just sat with Baraka, not telling me anything. And just looking at the baby and I don't even know what she's doing. She's not talking to me. And then later she just told me, "Yuko sawa." He has a hole. See me after 1 year. And I'm like, a hole and I see you after 1 year. Then she was this serious. We are friends today. But then she was so scary. And in my mind was, okay, my baby is dying. And I think she's just giving me the 1 year so that mtoto atakuwa sha. And actually that's what doctors thought. They don't live beyond the 1 year, max 5 years. That was their experience.
Okay.
So this doctor is a good friend of ours now as an organization. So back to where I met this lady.
Okay.
And she introduces me to a group, a support group. She tells me, I also have a child with Down syndrome. And can I add you to the WhatsApp group? And I told her yes. And I went there and met several other ladies. One of them, actually the founder of that WhatsApp group, had been there earlier. And she struggled alone. And she said, no, I have to, start just collecting moms so that we can walk this journey together.
Right.
And that's how we came together and formed a support group, a few moms. T21 Family Support Organization. So we could just meet and cry and how the doctors deliver the news. Everybody had their own experience. But from then now, we have grown. And back to now, today. And we've had this doctor who saw Baraka became our friend. She does our medical camps, very passionate. After seeing our children survive, she's now a friend to T21. And the doctors now refer. New parents have a place to go, you know, like unlike Kitambo, unawachwa.
Yeah.
Now, new parents have immediately
community.
we have told them, when you just get a baby, because of the heart, she will always get these patients, and she will refer them to our support group. So unlike us, who are just the moms today, have a place to go.
They have community.
Yes, they have a community.
We see a lot of adults with Down syndrome, but you're saying but you're saying from data, they don't often live long. Can you walk us through that generally?
Okay, they say what do we call this? Their life expectancy is about 45. I don't know where they get that data from, because right now we have in my support group we have two that are 50, and those 50 years and above. One is a lady, one is a guy, and they were from the village. They are not even in town. They have speech, because we take long before getting speech. But we finally get there. For those, of course, they are just the way typical people are. We have people who are
non-verbal.
Yes, are non-verbal. So yes, they are verbal. Of course, they are mother tongue, because they grew in the village. Yeah, they are there, speak and able to take care of themselves. Yes.
So it could, it's one of those things where, again, where does this data come from? Would be a good question to ask. And then have things changed? You know, maybe it was collected at a very different time, and it's still being used as factual, right? But
yes, that's the challenge right there. We don't have, dedicated teams to really collect this data. And I think it would help the country if we had data, so that even as they are planning or doing their budgets, then they are able to plan for this community. You're not lumping up, all disabilities together. You have, if it's Down syndrome, these are their needs. This is the number that we have, and then that would work well. We, of course, have the National Council for People Living with Disability, which is a state agency. They do something. They also support us. But I believe if they were really empowered to, like they are also in hospitals. Immediately a child is born with a condition, be it Down syndrome or any other disability, that data is captured, because it's there in the hospitals. Right. But they are the organ. You see, this hospital has their data. The Ministry of Health has its data, but they are not, they are not. So if this data could be shared amongst all government agencies working together, then things would be a bit simpler, so that even if they need to do support, be it medical, be it education, just the basic rights, that it would be, it would not be that difficult, because all you need is therapy, occupational therapy. It's very expensive, because you need to do it almost throughout their lives. Once they walk, they talk, there are still other therapies that they need. So with this data, and even as they source for funds for their budgets, then it would be,
I want to come to the cost a bit later, because I know that's different. Baraka is now 11. Does he know he's different? Does he know when did he, if he does, when did he start to, how do they ask? Do they say, Mom, there's...
I don't know how God has created, so then they are just okay, The issue again with our theme is that they are also lonely. Like children would notice they are different. And because they are not fast, they are not able to play ball fast or, get into even in class. So unless you get children who are really have been empowered and have been taught, they don't embrace them easily. So even for him, he does not understand he's different. He would want to play, he would want to engage. But you see now, when his community is not able to just embrace him, then sometimes they will act like before he got his speech, he would want to tell you move. And because he can't say move, he would push a child. So a child will say this Baraka fights. Or Baraka is,
he's a bully.
So like you have to go to school. He's been in one school all along. And I had to talk to his classmates on World Down Syndrome Day. And I just tell them that if you see Baraka pushing you, he's just telling you, move to move, okay? So now they understand him. They are able, they will even tell you Baraka wants. So you see, we start creating awareness from that level, from that community. But for him, he does not understand that he's different.
Okay.
Yes.
Joan, let me take you, now that we actually brought in the school.
Yeah.
At what age did you first take him to school?
Just like any other parent, at 4 years, because then we had dealt with the heart. He had already done the surgeries. We had done because of this, the way their features are, they don't have this nose bridges.
The bridge.
Yeah, so they get adenoids and things like that. So those are the surgeries we deal with at an early age, so that he's able to breathe.
What's an adenoid?
And it's like a growth.
Okay.
So it blocks the breathing.
nasal passage. Okay.
Yes. So the doctors have to remove then their ears are also, lower. I actually knew about that after giving birth to Baraka. So there's the issue of balancing, the fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at 4, we had done at least we were through with the major surgeries, and we went to school. And I went to school fast.
Can I? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
How many surgeries was it? Because you've said we were done with the major surgeries,
Yeah.
meaning there was some that still came after. But how many surgeries was it?
Wow. We did the heart, we did the adenoids, he had the eye, and the heart was not just a one-off, it failed. We had 2 failed surgeries. And then
This is to close the hole in his heart.
Yes, because after 1 year, we still went back to the cardiologist.
Yeah.
The hole had not, but this time she was so excited, like, you guys are, okay, she didn't say it, but you guys are alive, Yeah, and we had seen her now, we started the process of closing that hole. Ours was a simpler, according to them, that's a simpler. For me, it was, but for them, this is a simple heart procedure. For some of our children, have to go to India, for those heart surgeries. So, what was your question again?
No, I just wanted to know those procedures.
Yeah, so there's the heart. Of course, not all children with Down syndrome have the heart condition, but majority have. So there's the heart, there is the adenoids, and then there is, of course, the eyes, the ears. Some have a hearing issue. Yeah. Then as they grow older, there are those, of course, the genital area for the boys and the test and all that.
Okay.
Some have to do the, farming the legs and
He's 11. How many surgeries has he had to undergo right now?
For him, he's had the heart, the eyes, and the adenoids. 3. Yes, 3.
Okay.
So at 4, you take him to school.
Yes.
And you're taking him to, you just take him to like the nearest?
The nearest. You also
ECD,
don't want the nearest, the nearest, the closest
Closest to home.
to home. Because again, because of that, and I live in a place where there is dust, so you don't want to, anytime there's dust, you're getting the pneumonias and all that. So I go to school and I tell them about my child, and they tell me, yes, we can take your child.
Yeah.
So year 1, we go to school, and my baby does not learn anything. So I go for,
What
the
do you
normal.
mean does not learn anything, Joan?
He can nothing, like vile ulimpeleka.
At that age, what are they supposed to be learning?
Of course, even holding a pen and just writing, the sounds, or number 1, 2, or even just some activity they've learned, a song,
But they've learned socialization.
Okay, for socialization, because he's also around people at home, then that one is there.
Okay.
So we go, and every other parent is being given the report on Parents' Day. So when I asked the teacher, there's nothing, even a record. And the teacher just says, ako sawa. Hey. So 1 year we went to school. So that's baby class, right? And he's supposed to go to now CPPP, PP1. And I tell the teacher, I need to see progress. What can I do, No, are you getting a teacher trained in special? This is a private school. They don't even have a special needs teacher, which is not necessary, because there are teachers who have skills. And they say, we'll get that teacher. So I tell them, I'm giving you time. If you're not going to get a teacher, I will come with my own teacher.
Right.
And they get a teacher. So when the teacher comes in, the teacher says this child cannot go to PP1. He will not be able to cope with his peers. So arudie. And then I said, okay. And she explained to me why that she needed to work with the child so that he can get to the level of these other children. But after a while, that teacher left. Then COVID came. Now we're in the house.
Yeah.
I got one teacher who had just come from campus, and she used to come to the house. Within a month, my baby could write 1 to 10, could do the sounds, could, and
A, E, I, O, U, and
yes, and even
He's a
though
fresh
he could
graduate.
not speak them, he could write them. This is a teacher, special needs, special education, special needs education, something like that. And that's the teacher who is with Baraka to date. They go with him to class. She sits with him in class, and that's the condition I give the school.
Yeah.
That I brought this child, there was no improvement. Allow me to come with my teacher. So I pay my teacher, and of course I pay the school. And Baraka he reads now. He writes, he reads. Yes.
Yeah, we have to take a break.
Yes.
I love the agency you have, and I want to know, how other parents are doing it, because you really sound like a champion for Baraka, and doing the best for him. Then we'll also get into things like the cost and the emotional toll. When you talked about several surgeries and he's so young, I can imagine that's also difficult. But as we said, tomorrow is World Down Syndrome Day. So we are in conversation right now with a parent, a caregiver, and we're just going to continue to learn more about the condition and more about how we can support as well. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break.
Back in conversation now with Joan, who is Mama Baraka Pia. She is an advocate for persons with Down syndrome, a mom to a child with Down syndrome, and of course, just an all-round good vibe. Very interesting conversationalist, I must say, and a good storyteller. Joan, before we went on break, we were about to thread on costs of childcare when it comes to persons with Down syndrome and children with Down syndrome. You mentioned just very briefly that in education, you essentially found a teacher that worked with your son and had him reading in a matter of a month, right? And you're like, you know what, we're sticking together, we're going the full yard. So now this teacher also accompanies Baraka to school.
Yes.
That's incredibly expensive already.
Yeah.
Walk me through the cost of Baraka's care. Kuna the cost of being a parent, sawa, but kuna zako specific.
Yeah. Remember I told you start therapy from day one. And not everyone has access to, like public facility. There is therapy that is affordable in public facilities. So for us, we didn't have that, so we had to engage a private occupational therapist. My insurance cover did not allow for that, so it had to be, out of pocket. And it was quite expensive, a minimum of 3 therapies per week at that age. And actually, you need to do the therapy daily if you want them to achieve the milestones as fast. So most parents can't afford that. And
How much
it's quite
is an hour
a session, an hour then was going for 1,600 shillings. That's 11 years ago. So it could be more now. In a public facility then was about 500. So if you're to do that daily, it would be quite expensive.
Right.
And so you find most parents are not able to afford that. And if you don't do the therapies, then the children's milestones delay. While they are supposed at least to walk by 2.5. You find some walk even at 5 years. And you can imagine having a 5-year-old that you're carrying on your back. And again, together against loneliness, you're alone.
Yeah.
You can't go to work. Yeah, because we will give you off even three times in a week.
In a week, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where family comes in, that you have to share with the dad, the siblings if they can, and any other family member or community member who can help you even go through the therapies. So what happens is that when you go for the therapy, you're also trained so that you do some exercises at home.
Right.
That's on the therapy, which is continuous.
Right.
That is speech, occupational, physical. Speech is more expensive. It's about 5K. Then it was 5K per hour. I don't know now how much it is. It's various. So most parents would not afford. Then now you start the surgeries. At least for then, there was NHIF that was paying about still $500,000. So whether you do the surgeries in the country or out of the country. Now SHA is also paying for the surgeries. But still, the surgeries are more than that. So most parents will just, if you can't pay more than what SHA, if the surgery takes more than what SHA, so they will not go for the surgeries and they will lose the child. And these surgeries are like, they are those ones of, you need to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
You've given birth today, tomorrow you need to go for this surgery. So we lose most children at that time because of cost. Yeah, then of course the schooling, as you said. And yeah, it's quite expensive.
Oof, yeah. I've been trying to do the math, and this is before I think of anything else that would aid, like the therapies, whether it's speech therapy or physical mobility and things like that. I'm assuming there's still, whether it's toys, it's games, it's that's all things to think about. Nutrition,
Yeah. Nutrition, you'll find like our children also struggle. Our children struggle with most foods. They are allergic to like wheat or sweet sugary things, or so you'll be told don't give this. Because I remember, like for me, when we were preparing for the heart surgery, the potassium levels, I didn't even know potassium was crazy until that time. Every time we went for tests, we were told the potassium levels were very high. And I was just telling the doctor, we need to do this surgery. I can't keep coming. I prepare and then you send me back home. The doctor just told me, have you seen that injection that they give when they want to kill people? You know those things we see in movies?
Yeah.
That is a potassium injection. It is that dangerous, and especially because he has a heart condition. So with potassium, every food we eat has potassium. Every food that grows in soil has from potatoes, and I'm Kikuyu, so we have to do warus and everything.
Bananas,
from anything, even burgers. So all he could eat then was meat. We could just do meat and ugali. So the burger was only cabbage.
Right.
So you can imagine this is a growing baby. But one mom told me, just do what you need to do as a mom. What is your feeling? This thing, now what food will you give your child? And I think when I relaxed, our potassium levels went down. And we had, so there are things like that. There are children who cannot take anything with milk. Yeah, they have that intolerance. Of course, with the wheat and everything, they will get skin infections. They just need constant medical attention, which is again expensive. You'll not see a cardiologist at 1,000 bob.
No.
Yeah, neither will you see any other specialist. So the cost of treatment is very expensive, and hence the T21 coming together and having our friends. So like that cardiologist, we will do a medical camp, and we'll talk to our friend doctors, the cardiologists, all these specialists that we need. And then those of our moms who are not able to get those services or afford them will attend the medical camp. And we do fundraisers to pay for them, the government insurance, that they're able at least to get some of the services, yes.
Medical is definitely high, because I was going to ask for T21, what's the biggest advocacy needed? It sounds like when it comes to advocacy for people with Down syndrome, it's healthcare. Education as well.
Yes.
Okay. The third one, what would you say is another, probably empathy, right? From community, from society.
Yes, empathy and really just, and Kenyans have a solutions for everything. Good, in a good way. When they see your baby, they'll be telling you, ninajua mtoto mwingine. They lump all the conditions together. And yes, 0 to 5 years, medical. That's the only need then, medical. After 5 now, they're in school. We need schools that can, integrated system, because children with Down syndrome are what we call, they ape. They learn by seeing what other children are doing. So if you were to lump them with other conditions, they will ape what those other children are doing. So we want them integrated in the just typical environment so that they can learn. And that's how Baraka also, because he was able to come back home with the words, because we could say the same words at home, but the same words said by a child his age, he will pick it up. So we want our children to be in class with the typical children, so that they are able to learn. So education, I think the Ministry of Health is trying, but I wish they would try harder. So that in places where they do not even have public schools, like you could sponsor even one teacher, in these private schools, so that our children can get that education that because it's a basic right. Health is a basic right. Education is a basic right. Yes. So other than that, again, together against loneliness, let's involve, like when my child is coming to your house, invite him for birthdays, let him, when there's a sports day in school, let him be engaged, in church. People will be empathetic and they'll say, tunawakubali, they even have programs for disability, and no one knows how to handle. Go a step further. Take one of your pastors to school, or the church people, so that when my child comes to church, there's somebody who knows how to handle them.
Actual
T21.
Yes.
Sorry. No. T21 is a group started by parents of children with Down syndrome.
Yes.
And many of the members are the same, right?
Yes.
What is T21? What does it mean?
Okay.
What's T and what's the 21?
T21 is trisomy 21. That's now the is it the medical name for Down syndrome?
Okay.
Because basically Down syndrome is the 21st chromosome. The 21st, the guy gives 21st, the two pairs, the two sets. And then on the 21st chromosome, instead of just being two,
a pair.
It divides into 3. So that's why they try. So no B21 on the chromosome. So that's why we came with the name T21.
Okay.
So T trisomy 21.
And it has members from across the country.
Across the country.
How
through
many
referrals. Right now we are about 440 40 moms. With children living with Down syndrome. Some, of course, are siblings. And some caregivers. But in the group, we are around 440 something.
Wait, did you say 440 moms, or of the 440, some are moms, others are caregivers, others
Majority
are dads?
are moms. Okay, there's a dad's forum. We had to bring these guys because this journey is tough. So because, us ladies have a lot of, the groups, the guys would there. So we formed for them. We actually formed the WhatsApp group for them.
You formed and invited
for
them.
We invited them and then we left them. So we involved them in activities like what we are having on Saturday. It's basically going with the theme. We are bringing people together so that they see our children. They walk with us and they see their, the capacity that they have. So the guys are helping us, the men. It's the daddies forum. When we have fun days, they are there. Of course, when it comes to finances, they support. And also encouraging, because men take longer to really accept this situation. So when a man, when the ladies join, we tell them, add baba ya mtoto hapo, so that he sees there are also other men. So there's the T21 daddies chapter and our chapter.
Okay.
Yes, across all over Kenya.
Are you able to, have you been engaging with others? So because As a community, you're talking one language, you all
Yeah.
understand. And like you said, in the advocacy that you have is also creating awareness
Yes.
and getting the support so that the children can be involved, like you said, involve us. So have you reached out to like other groups, other even non-groups? Do you organize events where you say, let's teach you about Down syndrome? And this is all.
We this is one of the, and thank you so much for hosting us. We have done shows, we have done fun days every year during the World Down Syndrome Day. We have an activity. Yeah, we'll either have a walk or we'll just have a fun day or we'll have a medical camp. And we, in our social media platforms, we are at T21FSO. We are on Facebook. We are on now it's X, it was Twitter. We are on Instagram because we have all parents. There's this myth that it's only, at least I got my baby at 41, but most of our moms are very young, 20s. Recently, we even had an 18-year-old. Yeah, so we are trying to be in all spaces to fit all ages.
Yeah.
The medical camps, and then we have other organizations that we have the NCDAC, the Non-Communicable Because Association of Kenya. We are members because of the conditions that our children have, the heart conditions and all that. We also have another organization that deals with children living with autism, because there are also children living with disability, and sometimes you have a double diagnosis. You can get a child with Down syndrome and autism. So we are affiliated to other communities. And then for us, there was already a Down syndrome association in Kenya. But remember, as we are getting children way later, their children were adults. And it felt like we were really not fitting. So it's there, it's also very active. But for us now, you find that we have, at the time we were starting, our children were all, we were having the same common issues.
Right.
And of course, a different space. Them, they didn't have the information then, as we have. So immediately you join our forum, we tell you, these are the tests you have to do. Ensure your baby gets this and this. You will get referrals for the medics, from the group. If you're in Nyeri, who is in Nyeri? Which doctor can? If you're in Mombasa, if you're like that. So referral system, yes.
It works very well.
Yeah.
Joan, I can understand that when you talk among yourselves, you know what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you talk to other groups that have, like now the non-communicable diseases group, these are groups of people who have a common issue, which is a condition for their children. They'll understand. In school, say, the Parents Association in a school, do you read like they understand, they get it? Parents whose children don't have any condition, any disability, and yet your children are in the same school, do they get it?
Yeah, and as I've told you, I also went to Baraka school. So we encourage moms and we ask them now to invite the office, like if you have a day where you need for us to reach out to that community. Even churches, there are some churches that are doing good, and they will have those days, the special needs days, where we go there and speak to. They get it and they change. Once you create awareness, there's a shift. And you have to continue doing it. It's not a one-off thing. You have to go to that church. You see, when our doctors had to change, they used to call our children crazy, those medical names like mongoloid, You've heard of such names?
Yeah.
Now they've embraced, and they're the ones who are even introducing new parents to us. So they are getting it. It's low, but and it's everybody's responsibility. As a mother, I need my office. I will be telling them about Baraka. Everybody knows about Baraka. I have other children, but you will find it's always Baraka. If it's a World Down syndrome day, I'm posting things. I will write an article, just to engage my colleagues. So we task ourselves as moms, because we are the ones to do it. And like for this walk coming on tomorrow. We've reached out to people, and that's why we are here today, so that people can come and join us, support us, so that we are able to also pay for that mom.
Who needs support.
Yes.
When you're engaging with just this one, when you're engaging with somebody who has no understanding, What do you see as the most common misconception
Right.
about Down syndrome? So, because over the years, and I've seen, Joan, you're a communicator.
Yeah.
How have you been able to tailor your messaging so that this is how I start this conversation, and this is how then I'll walk it down?
There's also a lot of stigma because of the African community. The ladies we are disadvantaged. The guy will always, in fact, most guys run away. We really commend those that stay back. You'll be told, hii hakuna kwetu. Nyinyi iko kwenyu ndio mko na hizi vitu, umerogwa, those kind of things. So depending on the community, if I go to the village and I'm meeting those ones who feel that labda ulirogwa or things like that, I will try to, even go to scripture. The Bible is there. Even the disciples who were asking Jesus that, what was wrong with this person? You bring in, if it's the church age, the older people, that it is not anybody's fault, that this child was born so that God can be glorified. And I think it's in all religions. I think in Muslim, you're even told you'll get a free pass to heaven, just, having a child with a disability. So we try to get down to that level. If it's children, I tailor the message what I've told you, that I had to tell the children that when Baraka is pushing you, that's the way he communicates. Right. So you will try to tailor make. Of course, we have the write-ups and the pamphlets and everything tried to interpret in all languages, Kiswahili, English, that we give out during our functions. But it's because there's no manual.
Yeah.
You just need to use your experience. And I will use and people, when I go with Baraka, they say, oh, now he can even read. Some, just by seeing how far we've come with Baraka, are able to have so I will go everywhere. It's only today that I was not able to come with him. I will go with him to church. If it is an office function that allows us to go with our children. If I am going to a restaurant, I will go to him. And even our supermarkets around where I live, they know. They will get his trolley and they just let him.
That's amazing. I think my follow-up was, it's similar to what Eric has started asking, because I wanted to talk about representation and how we can show up every day for people with Down syndrome, because there's some people might be like, is there a language I'm supposed to use? How do I approach? What do you advise? How can we show up? The little ways that people can show up every day if they encounter or happen to be in conversation with somebody like you or somebody with Down syndrome. What would you say are ways that people can show up?
Don't stare. Most people will stare. They stare.
Can't help it, by the way, John.
You're an assembly, don't.
It happens so subconsciously.
Yeah, you'll find there's something. So don't
You're trying to process, so you just start.
People just say, our children are very friendly. They will always want to hug you. Don't chase, don't push them away. Like if they want to assist even in a supermarket, in church, if they come to the pulpit there, don't chase them away. So, and just speak the way you speak. Because I've told you, our children learn by, it's called the ape. So you have to speak, don't speak the way they speak. Just speak normally.
Don't dumb
treat
it down.
them normally, the way you treat any other typical children, even if it means discipline or anything. You have to just, because they have to go out there in the world. If you pamper them again so much, they will not fit in. And you see, we are preparing them for tomorrow. I might not be there. Baraka needs to, to survive out there on their own. So other than financial, just be there. That friend of yours who has a child with special needs, just let them bring the child over so that they can go to the salon or just go somewhere, just to unwind again. Just being with us, just being there. Just being there.
And even same as they get older. If they're young adults, it's the same thing. Just engage them normally. Okay.
But I want to talk a little bit about adults with Down syndrome because you touched on it. And you're right. For a lot of people, they were born at a time when people didn't know. And if they did, even the expenses that you've talked about at that time must have been times 2, times 3. Does T21 do anything to support adults with Down syndrome or their caregivers? And are there any ways to essentially maybe even have access to these therapies and things in adulthood?
Okay, in adulthood, again, they go back to like the way they were when they were children. So now these diseases come. There's the diabetes. They are prone to diabetes, and then there's the dementia and all that. For the one adult we have, actually I was asking the sister, because the caregiver is a sister, if they would come on this show. And for now he has Homa, and then now his sugars are. So how we support again is through our friends, the medical personnel, that this person has that condition. Are you able to give subsidized services? Are you able to even just see, consults for free or referrals for free? Because some are not able to really afford. So as T21 again is through our friends, that friend who is a doctor, that friend who is a therapist, that friend who is a pharmacist somewhere. Yeah, just that.
Okay. As we wrap up now, tell us about how you're marking World Down Syndrome Day. You've talked about this walk. How can we also support and be a part of it?
Yeah, so the walk is tomorrow from 8 a.m. at Karura. Of course, we want you to come early for the warm-up. And then there's from 3 kilometers to 21 kilometers walk. It's only 1,500 for the T-shirts, for the adults, and then for the children is 500. You do us good by covering it. I would really appreciate. And we have our pay bill. The pay bill is 969,431. That's the pay bill.
969,431.
Yes, 969,431.
And
then you just give anything.
The account number?
The account is your name.
Your name.
You just say donation, your name and donation for the World Down Syndrome Day. You can say WSD 26 and your name. Yeah, donor. So this
Say the number again.
969,431.
Okay.
969,431.
Okay.
Yeah, and at TFSO X, Facebook, on IG, we are there. Our posters are there. You can support us by giving us airtime. Of course, coming for the walk, and just seeing our children there.
And on your IG page, there's a very nice blurb here from a girl, and it says, "People think I don't understand, but I do. I understand when I'm not invited. I understand when people whisper. I just want to belong."
Yeah, that's Ella. Yes, that's
Quite like
Lovely.
Yeah.
What will you do with the proceeds?
Yeah.
We have an office. We have to run an office. We have employed one of the moms. We can only afford one mom. Then we also pay for the social health insurance for the moms who are not able. We have mom-to-mom sessions where now it's like psychotherapy sessions. We invite counselors. Sometimes we do it on our own, where moms just come and, pour what they are going through. It's a therapy. Then we have the medical camps. As much as the doctors are offering their services, we have to, have a venue. We must provide,
equipment
and all that, just to have a day. So once we get the funding, this is what it does for the whole year. And then again in October is a whole month of just creating awareness. That is the World Down Syndrome Awareness Month. It comes in October. Yeah.
Right.
It's a good place to end it. Thank you so much, Joan, for making time for us, and of course for the amazing work you're doing, creating a community. I know you joined a community, but now becoming an advocate, and of course expanding it to other parents and caregivers and persons with Down syndrome all across the country.
Yes.
Great job.
Thank you for having us, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Tupatane. Hi. Monday for us from Fixing the Nation. It'll be a good weekend, so a happy Eid once more to all our fixers, and we wish you a wonderful weekend as well. Tupatane Monday, 6 to 10 a.m.